Play ball, Las Vegas. This is Covering the Bases with the A's. Sponsored by Big Bully Turf.
What's up, baseball fans? Welcome inside Covering the Bases with the A's. Mike Davis here alongside Kevin Bollinger. Kevin, tell us what's on deck.
Well, we got a fun show today, Mike. Here is the batting order for this afternoon's show. Jacob Wilson is the latest to hit the IL, and the A's claw back, climbing out of a 6-run hole to beat a division rival. Plus, 2 rookies are red hot this month, and later, A's legendary broadcaster Ken Korak joins the show. Plus, I go one-on-one with Lawrence Butler. But first, another star player is done for the season.
Yeah, the injury bug continuing to linger for the Athletics as shortstop Jacob Wilson is now headed to the 60-day IL, a lingering shoulder injury forcing the second-year player to miss the rest of the season. And as we take a look at other notable A's players out for the season, Wilson is joining a long list from Brent Rooker and Luis Severino to Tyler Soderstrom and Nick Kurtz, and of course, Shea Langeliers. So Kevin, give us some hope. How do the A's handle so many injuries this late in the season?
Well, the hope is in the future, right? If you want to go glass half full on all of these A's injuries, it's the fact that some of these young players are getting valuable major league experience and they get a first look at pitchers around baseball with the feeling that that is all going to help them down the road. And that could benefit the A's by the time they get here to Las Vegas in 2028 with quality experience at bats. And from the injured player standpoint, of course, you hope that they come back stronger and even better than ever when they come back next season.
Okay, to a much needed positive story now about a young A's team clawing back.
1-2 in the air, left field and deep. And gone. Here's the 2-2, a swing and a liner into left. Butler's gonna drive in a run, Geloff to third. And Lawrence Butler with an RBI double. It's now 6-4. Ground ball on the right side and through. Here comes run number 5. Lawrence Butler around and the throw to the plate off the mark. A tied ball game here in Houston.
Got a harm's way.
Well struck out to left center field. This ball's going and gone. Max Muncy with the go-ahead home run here in the 7th. The Athletics up 7-6.
Yes, Sunday dramatics for the green and gold after securing a comeback 4-3 win on Saturday in Houston. The A's erased a 6-run deficit to come back again and steal an AL West Series win, thanks to a 6-run 5th inning kick-started by Brian Serven and then completed with a solo shot from Max Muncy in the 7th. Here was manager Mark Kotze on the comeback win.
Today was one of the better wins for this club in a long time. I know we, with the start we had some wins that were meaningful and impactful, but today was a great win for this group, especially just the way they fought, not just last night, but today and grinding a win out of being down 6-0.
And we have more good news to get to as one A's rookie is having a super hot August.
Based on where he's towing the slab.
Chopper to third, moving over Lee, clips off of his glove, it's into left. Bolte reaches again. 0-2 line, drive base hit, another multi-hit effort for Henry Bolte as the leadoff man for the A's. Bolte through for a base hit. And there he does it. Another 3-hit game, his 6th of the month.
Yep, a red-hot August for rookie Henry Bolte. The 23-year-old outfielder is proving not only to be a 5-tool prospect, but a 5-tool player today, demonstrating great speed and consistency in just 89 Major League games, and now he's likely to win AL Rookie of the Month.
In August, Bolte batting .341 with 3 home runs, 8 RBI, 17 runs, and 2 stolen bases. And get this, Bolte has 6 3-hit games in this month already alone. Here's manager Mark Kotze on Bolte's play.
Yeah, he's put together a great month. Darren and I were talking about him. This is a 23-year-old outfielder that got here a little bit sooner probably than we anticipated. If you look at his minor league numbers, what he's doing in the big leagues right now is pretty solid. And if you just double the production based on the amount of at-bats, I'd say that those numbers will be more than suffice to contribute to this club next year. We still got a full month left to continue to gain this experience and continue to make improvements on his overall game, which is exciting.
So, Kevin, what are you seeing right now from Bolte, and what does his potential ceiling look like?
Well, he's showing what the A's knew that they had, as you talked about earlier, a 5-tool guy that has something that you can't teach, and that's speed. Bolte got off to the hot start in the big leagues, and then he had some struggles both offensively and defensively out in the field where there were certainly some issues. But to see him put it all together shows the progression that you want to see from a young player. And he's a guy that can beat out infield singles. He can stretch doubles into triples. Defensively, can take away some of those balls in the gap. So the ceiling is high, and Bolte could be a key piece for the A's for many, many years to come.
All right, that's great to hear. But let's go from one hot rookie to another.
3-2 with a runner in scoring position. Let's see. 3-2 pitch. It's the slider, and it freezes Jeffers. 6 scoreless innings for Gage Jump.
Yeah, Gage Jump continues to make the jump to the bigs look easier and easier as the 23-year-old sets a career-high season for innings pitched. And just Tuesday night, the lefty shut down the Minnesota Twins in commanding fashion.
In 6 innings of work, Jump struck out 9, giving up just 3 hits and 2 runs. Here was the pitcher after the game.
I was happy with getting out there in the 7th. Frustrated with how it finished, but I think overall, compared to my last couple of outings, like the efficiency was better. Landing breaking balls in zone early, landing the changeup in zone early. So kind of all that stuff. Yeah, the execution was much better, so that's what I was happy about.
All right, coming up on deck, A's legendary broadcaster Ken Korak joins the show. He's going to talk injuries, Henry Bolte's hot August, and so much more.
And before we get to break, let's get in some trivia. On this day 13 years ago, the A's got 21 hits against Detroit. Every player in their starting lineup got one, except for one player, who actually happened to be one of their best that year. But who was it? Was it Josh Donaldson, Yoenis Cespedes, Coco Crisp, or Josh Reddick that went hitless? We got the answer after the break.
Play ball, Las Vegas. This is Covering the Bases with the A's. Sponsored by Big Bully Turf.
We are back with an answer to the question, which athletic was the only one in the starting lineup not to get a hit on this date in 2013? The answer is Coco Crisp. Now, despite that, this actually was his best year as an athletic, 2013. Hitting 22 home runs, he stole 21 bases, finished 15th in MVP voting. He was also great out in the field, made some diving catches along the way. They won 96 games that year, actually. And in fact, Coco was especially crisp running the bases. Since the A's moved to Oakland more than 50 years ago, only 3 athletics have stolen more bases than he did.
All right, now we're joined by A's broadcaster Ken Korak. Ken, great to see you as always. Let's start with Jacob Wilson being done for the year. Another injury bug and situation that is just crippling this team. Tell us, Jacob Wilson being out, what does that mean for the team, and how is this team just finding itself in this consistent pattern of injuries?
Well, it sounds like a cliche, but the mantra is next man up, and that's all you can do. So it has really been hard, and especially on the position player side of things. And I think doubly frustrating because I think it's universal around the game that the A's have one of the best cores, if not the best, young core of position players in the game. So they miss them. Guys have filled in, and it's the land of opportunity right now. So, your viewers who have seen the Aviators play this year, many of those guys are up playing in the big leagues and actually playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate thing to see. And of course, like you mentioned, it is such a young core of talented players, so hopefully everybody gets healthy soon. But let's talk about another young guy who was with the Aviators not too long ago and who's playing out of his mind in August, likely to be the AL Rookie of the Month, and Henry Bolte, a guy who's a 5-tool player, can do a little bit of everything. He's batting .345 in this month alone. What do you love about this young kid?
Well, he has phenomenal tools, and you mentioned that the 5 tools, and his speed is off the charts. I think in one of the most recent kind of MLB metrics that they released, they said he had the fastest sprint speed of any player in the game this year. So he can really fly. And like you said, he's had a tremendous month, 31 hits this month, and he's like a lot of the A's players in that maybe he wouldn't even be here given great health for the ball club, and he just turned 23. He was drafted by the A's out of high school down in Palo Alto, so the power is starting to come. He's really learning to play center field because the ballpark out here in West Sacramento can be a little tricky to play in the outfield. He's getting better and better with every day, and now we were kind of talking on the broadcast last night that if the A's get Denzel Clark back, and if Clark and Bolte with Lawrence Butler maybe are in the same outfield, now you've got some real athleticism out there. So Bolte's been a huge force for the A's recently.
Yeah, I mean, if Clark and Bolte are both playing in the outfield, that's a lot of ground that's going to get covered out there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about...
You probably have to move Bolte to left field, right? Because,
yeah.
I mean, Denzel, his meal ticket is playing center field.
100%, and they're both great base runners, both a lot of speed, so hopefully we can see that dynamic duo playing in the outfield together. Let's talk about the young 23-year-old lefty, Gage Jump, who's playing tremendous as well. A lot of innings pitched for this kid. Of course, last night he had a great game, but he's racking up those Ks as well. Ken, what are you seeing from Gage Jump on the mound?
I thought last night, you referenced that, was his best game of the year, and he had given up just 1 hit through the first 6 innings. That was a funky pop fly in the infield that somebody should have caught. Went into the 7th inning, struck out 9. He has tremendous stuff, and an example of what a bonanza the 2024 draft was for the A's. Everybody knows about Nick Kurtz, Rookie of the Year last year, but Tommy White, who's been playing 3rd and 1st, had a double, drove in a run last night. Joshua Kuroda-Grauer, in a small sample size, only like 60 at-bats, and he's on the IL for the rest of the year, is batting over 400. But with Jump, he has phenomenal stuff. And as you know, the A's have really struggled to pitch out here in West Sacramento. The team ERA is much too high, and they'd be the first ones to verify that. But, his fastball hitting 98 last night. And the one thing he's developed, this is so vital, and Mark Kotze has really stressed this, would be throwing his changeup. And illustration of that was in the 6th inning. And Byron Buxton's one of the best hitters in the game. He had thrown a fastball 98 2 pitches before. He threw a changeup that was way outside, but he fooled Buxton so much that he struck him out swinging. So if he can, the changeup is a work in progress. But when that pitch really comes around, then you could have a potential all-star or top of the rotation starting pitcher in Gage Jump.
All right, Ken, you're the best. Thanks so much for spending a bunch of time with us. We appreciate it.
And anytime, you guys. I enjoyed it. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Ken.
Well, injuries aren't just happening to the big league roster. Unfortunately, the bug has struck the farm as well, with the A's top prospect and the number 2 prospect in all of baseball potentially shut down for the season. Yep, I'm talking about this guy. Leo DeVries, the infielder, has landed on the AA injured list. It's been reported that the 19-year-old is dealing with a sore right shoulder and sidelined from throwing for 4 weeks. DeVries is currently rehabbing the injury in Arizona. With the Midland Rockhound season ending on September 13th, this likely is the end of DeVries' time playing at AA this season. But playing in the Arizona Fall League is not out of the question for the switch-hitting shortstop. Rather than hanging our heads in mourning, though, let's reflect on the young gun season in Midland. Taking a look here at his offensive production. In 93 AA games this year, the 19-year-old produced a .290 batting average, .378 on-base percentage, a .836 OPS with 13 home runs, 55 RBI, and 34 stolen bases, setting new career high marks in stolen bases, batting average, on-base percentage, and OPS this year. So 4 out of 6 categories, not too bad. In the field, DeVries has mostly played shortstop in the minors, but this year he also made 15 appearances at third base. That versatility will only help fast-track his path to the majors. Now, would it have been magical to see DeVries possibly get called up to AAA as the Aviators approach the playoffs? 100%. But prioritizing health to ensure the longevity of the organization's top prospect is the way to go. Regardless, we can't wait to see what the future holds for Leo DeVries in the green and gold. And Aviators fans, don't forget you can watch select games all season long right here on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network.
All right, after the break, Kevin is going one-on-one with the Law Dog. Get to know the dynamic Lawrence Butler.
Play ball, Las Vegas. This is Covering the Bases with the A's. Sponsored by Big Bully Turf.
We are just outside the top 5 in this countdown of the 50 greatest athletics players in history. For number 6 and 7, we're going with a couple of lefties who were as instrumental as anyone in getting the franchise off to a hot start. Hailing from tiny Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, you may have heard of it, Eddie Plank was on the very first Philadelphia athletics team in 1901. He was with the team for the first 14 years of their existence and was the rock that formed the foundation of 5 pennant winners and 3 World Series champions. In 6 World Series starts, Gettysburg Eddie, as he was called, had a stellar 1.32 ERA, which is 3rd all-time among pitchers with at least 50 innings in a World Series. But he's 3rd or 2nd to none in terms of career accomplishments with the A's. He's got more wins, strikeouts, and shutouts than anyone else in franchise history. Second on the strikeout and shutout leaderboard for the A's is a guy who shared rotation with Plank, Rube Waddell, a wild dude known for dressing on the field before games, wrestling alligators in the offseason, and, this is true, chasing fire engines as they passed by the park, making everyone pause the game for him to finally get back. But he could get away with it because he was the best pitcher of the first decade of the modern era, leading the league in strikeouts in all 6 of his years with the A's. He's got the lowest ERA in team history and the 7th lowest of any pitcher ever. He is truly at the very top corner of the eccentricity to production matrix. Next week, we reach the top 5 of our green and gold countdown. We're going to meet a guy who they called Bucketfoot Al. We'll see you then.
Ted Williams once famously said, "The hardest thing to do in baseball is to hit a round baseball with a round bat squarely." And that comes from arguably the best hitter of all time. That quote is Lawrence Butler this season. In a game where you need some breaks, all Butler seems to be getting at the plate this season are bad ones.
First pitch, line to the first baseman, Bush. Butler cannot buy a hit.
There's no question this has been a frustratingly bad season for Lawrence Butler. Injured during much of spring training, Butler got a late start, and it just seemed to snowball.
It's obviously frustrating because, you want results and you want to be able to help your team, but, you still got to trust the process, and, that's kind of the name of the game in baseball, just trusting the process. You're going to fail, just got to keep going.
Butler spent the majority of the season hitting below the Mendoza line, but in the last couple of months, he's been squaring up a lot more pitches. They just seem to be hit right at somebody. Lately, he's finding more holes and has brought his batting average above 200. Mix in a bad year personally with a team that has struggled this summer, and Butler says that everyone just has to keep digging in.
Just things don't really go our way majority of the time, so we just got to find a way to just keep competing and keep going and keep trying, and, hopefully things will turn our way.
Driven to right. Forget about it. Off the tree in the right field berm.
While the results may not be there right now on the field, one thing that hasn't wavered is the culture in the A's clubhouse. And Butler continues to take a leadership role on this team.
Through tough times, we got to stay together. All we got is each other. You know, the media talks about us. You know, everybody's just on us. So, I mean, all we have is each other. All we have is, you know, the person in the locker room next to you. So we just kind of got to stay together, keep picking each other up, and, you know, just keep playing for better days.
Those better days will come, hopefully, when the team arrives in Las Vegas in 2028. This young roster continues to work things out, knowing the work will pay off with hits and wins in the future.
Play ball, Las Vegas. This is Covering the Bases with the A's. Sponsored by Big Bully Turf.
Get priority access to purchase season A's tickets in Las Vegas for just $19.01. Current season ticket members, Aviators season ticket holders, as well as Clark County residents who secure their spot on the priority access list will receive purchase priority ahead of the general fan. Just visit athletics.com/Vegas.
Okay, so after the Athletics wrap up a series with the Minnesota Twins, they stay home for a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. Now, the A's will be sending Jacob Lopez to the mound on Friday, Jack Perkins on Saturday, and Jeffrey Springs back from injury on Sunday. Both the A's and the Orioles sit in 4th place of their respective divisions. So, Kevin, let's see if the guys can get back on track. What's some of the keys to the series for the A's?
Well, I really thought the Orioles were going to take a big step this season with all their young stars, but like the A's, they've had some injuries, and then they traded away Adley Rutschman to the Red Sox, so it's been a disappointing year in Baltimore as well. They've still got some solid players with a great middle infield combo of Gunnar Henderson at short, Jackson Holliday at second, and some power from Pete Alonso. So they're a top 10 hitting team in the big leagues, but they've had some struggles on the bump. A 4.17 ERA and in the bottom third of most pitching categories. So the A's just have to try to keep getting quality at bats from those young guys, try and build some experience.
All right, we'll see what can happen against these Orioles. That's a wrap on this edition of Covering the Bases with the A's. For Kevin, I'm Mike Davis and the rest of the team here. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week, and until then, have a great baseball week.